Last year, there was a time where I got angry at my dad for not putting enough food on the table. And what I mean by that is I would get home from a long day of school, work, gym, whatever, and I'll come back and for whatever reason, he just doesn't make enough like food for dinner. And it's typically because like our family doesn't eat that much, our portions are small, it's usually not that good to eat like a lot for dinner before you go to bed. And so there was a time where he just made like a very small dish for like four people to share, and that was it. And I just got like very annoyed because I gotta like bulk, I gotta eat, I was hungry, and things weren't going well in my life at the time. And yeah, I honestly, I just kind of like just got angry at that fact. And I just ended up in a very bad mood. I was like, fine, I'll just cook myself, which I ended up doing. But it kind of just soured the mood of the entire like atmosphere. Um, and it wasn't great for like our relationship either. And the reason I want to share this story is because now I have like a complete 180 of that. And I'm almost like shameful to admit that was how I behaved like before. And I guess the realization is just that obviously I'm a grown man. I'm over the age of 18. And having to rely on your dad or your family to cook food should be a blessing rather than something that you expect. And when I was just thinking about it, I'm like, wow, there's there's people far like far worse conditions than where I am. Like your family not making enough food is probably one of the least concerning things you should care about. Like my mom was telling me about relatives like 50 years ago who were literally starving and they had to eat like tree bark. And so the fact that now we even have food is like, we should I should have like intergenerational joy from that. But obviously I didn't. And sometimes it's hard to be fully grateful of the things you do have because for the most part they just feel the same because you're used to them every single day, and so you gradually just lose a sense of gratitude for what you have. And for this case especially, like I should be able to make my own food. Like why should it be a concern? The fact that my parents are even making food for me in the first place is great. Like that's kind of the life. I don't have to go out and cook myself or eat unhealthy food. They make healthy food for me every single day. And so this happened recently again. About yesterday. This is why I'm recording this. My dad, just just because he was busy, he didn't make that much food. Um, and rather than getting like angry this time, I ate the food with joy, with a smile on my face, that he was able to do this for the family. And then obviously I went out, bought my own food. Again, that's not an issue. I'm able to control that, right? So this isn't about, just like harming yourself. If you need to eat, like sure, eat. But the fact that my parents are cooking something for me, that's something I feel like very grateful for. And it turned out, I heard today that it was because my dad like lost a massive client in his business. And so he lost a huge amount of like revenue that he was making. Basically, like he can't afford to pay me and him like a salary at this stage. And so he was like very stressed. He had like stuff to do and he had to like cook on top of that. And because of that, he didn't like cook that much because he didn't just have time. And yeah, I mean, just hearing that, it just made me like super grateful for him, which is what I told him. And in typical Asian dad style, he was like, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, of course, of course. You got to eventually be responsible. He just gave me a lecture about it, but yeah, I'm sure he was grateful about it as well. But I just want to share that story because sometimes it's so easy to just not be grateful for the things you do have and just take them for granted. It's a very common lesson, but it's a lesson that I have to remind myself every single day that the food your parents cook for you is not something that's a given. It's a blessing. So, with that, take care and hug your parents today.